I need to score 7 on the IELTS reading and listening section, but I have no idea how to do it. One of the main reasons why students can't get high score on these sections of the test is because their vocabulary is limited. After studying tons of IELTS practice tests, I've noticed there are certain words that appear in almost every text or listening passage, and they don't belong to any specific subject. These are words that you can find in academic articles and texts, and these are the words you'll usually need to answer questions on the IELTS reading and listening. So for this video, I've collected 30 of the most common words you'll see during the IELTS reading and listening sections that will help you achieve the score you want. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get more tips and tricks about the test. Let's see how ready you are for the IELTS test. Take a piece of paper and write the words you don't know. At the end of the video, write for us how many words did you know. Let's get started. The first word in our list is analyze, which means to examine something in detail in order to understand it better or discover more about it. When you analyze something, you look closely at its elements and structure to understand it thoroughly. For example, scientists analyze data to draw conclusions about their experiments. The teacher asked the students to analyze the themes in the novel. 2. Assess, which means to evaluate or judge the nature, quality, or ability of something or someone. Assessing involves forming an opinion about something after considering all the relevant information or evidence. For example, teachers assess students' performance through exams and assignments. The company needs to assess the risks before launching the new product. Number 3. Assume, which means to accept something as true without proof or evidence. It often involves making a logical guess based on available information, but without confirmation. Give you an example: we often assume people are honest until proven otherwise. He assumed that the meeting was cancelled because no one was there. 4. Benefit, which means an advantage or profit gained from something. A benefit is a positive outcome or effect that something provides, making it advantageous. For example, regular exercise provides numerous health benefits, including improved mood and fitness. One of the benefits of reading regularly is improved vocabulary. 5. Concept, which means a general idea or understanding of something. A concept is an abstract idea that represents a class of things or a fundamental understanding of a principle. For example, the concept of freedom is central to many political philosophies. The concept of justice varies across different cultures. Now let's stop for a moment and give you the first tip for today. During the IELTS test, don't use the word maybe. There are better alternatives. For example, perhaps, possible, probably, conceivably, potentially, perchance, and it could be. Now let's go back to our list. Number 6. Consistent, which means always acting or behaving in the same way, in agreement or harmony. Consistency involves maintaining the same standards or behaviors regularly, without significant deviation. For example, consistent effort in studying leads to better grades. She has been consistent in her work, delivering high-quality results every time. 7. Context, which means the circumstances or setting surrounding an event, statement, or idea that help clarify its meaning. For example, to understand a word's meaning, look at the context in which it is used. The context of the conversation revealed that his comments were meant as a joke. 8. Create, which means to bring something into existence. For example, artists create beautiful works of art from simple materials. The chef created a new dish that quickly became popular. 9. Data, which means facts, statistics, or information used for analysis. Data is the raw information that can be processed and analyzed to draw conclusions or make decisions. For example, the survey collected data on people's shopping habits. 10. Derive, which means to obtain something from a specified source. Deriving involves tracing the origin or development of something, or gaining it from another source. For example, many English words are derived from Latin. Now let's stop for the second tip. During the test, don't use the word important. Use essential, vital, pivotal, significant, or critical. 11. Distribute. Which means divide and give out shares of something, to spread something over an area. For example, volunteers distribute food to the homeless every week. The manager distributed the tasks among the team members. 12. Economy. Which means the system of production, consumption, and distribution of goods and services in a society. For example, the global economy is influenced by international trade policies. A recession can have severe impacts on the global economy. 13. Environment. Which means the natural world, or the surroundings or conditions in which a person, animal, or plant lives. For example, pollution poses a significant threat to the environment. Protecting the environment is crucial for future generations. 14. Establish. Which means to set up, found or create something, often on a permanent basis. Establishing involves founding or bringing something into existence with the intention of it being stable and lasting. For example, the company plans to establish a new office in the city. 15. Estimate. Which means a rough calculation or judgment of the value, number, quantity, or extent of something. For example, the contractor provided an estimate for the cost of the renovation. Now let's see the third tip for today. During the IELTS test, don't use the word explain. Use illustrate, demonstrate, clarify, or elucidate. 16. Evidence. Which means information or signs indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid. For example, the fingerprints on the weapon were key evidence in the trial. The evidence presented in court was enough to convict the defendant. 17. Factor. Which means a circumstance, fact, or influence that contributes to a result or outcome. Factors are elements or components that play a part in bringing about a particular situation or event. For example, poor diet is a major factor in the rise of obesity. Weather conditions are a crucial factor in determining crop yields. 18. Function. Which means the natural purpose or activity of a person or thing. Function is the specific activity or role that something is designed to perform. For example, the function of the heart is to pump blood throughout the body. 19. Identify. Which means to recognize or establish what something is or who someone is. Identifying involves distinguishing or determining the identity of a person or thing based on characteristics or features. For example, a scientist was able to identify the new species based on its unique markings. 20. Impact. Which means the effect or influence of one person, thing, or action on another. For example, the new policy had a significant impact on employee productivity. The new law had a profound impact on the local economy. Now let's see the fourth tip for today. During the IELTS test, don't use the word kind. Use generous, considerate, gentle, benevolent, kind-hearted, or congenial. Of course, you need to pay attention to the usage of each word in the right context. 21. Indicate. Which means to point out or show something. Indicating involves signaling, suggesting, or providing evidence of something's presence or condition. For example, the signpost indicated the direction to the nearest town. The rise in sales indicates a growing demand for the product. 22. Interpret. Which means to explain the meaning of something or understand something in a particular way. Interpreting involves making sense of something, translating its meaning, or providing an explanation based on analysis or understanding. For example, scholars interpret ancient texts to uncover historical information. The teacher helped the students interpret the complex poem. 23. Involve, which means to include or be a part of something as a necessary component or consequence. Involving means to engage as a participant or to be an essential component in an activity or situation. For example, the job involves a lot of travel and meeting new people. 24. Issue, which means an important topic or problem for debate or discussion. For example, climate change is a critical issue facing the world today. The lack of affordable housing is a pressing issue in many cities. 25. Method, which means a particular way of doing something, usually involving a systematic procedure. For example, the scientific method involves observation, hypothesis, experimentation, and conclusion. Now the last tip for this lesson is the alternatives of thank you. I appreciate, grateful, much obliged, thanks a lot, or thanks a million. 26. Procedure, which means an established or official way of doing something, usually a series of steps. For example, the surgeon explained the procedure before starting the operation. 27. Process, which means a series of actions or steps taken to achieve a particular result. For example, the process of applying for a visa can be lengthy and complex. 28. Require, which means to need something because it is essential or very important. For example, most jobs require at least a basic understanding of computer skills. 29. Significant, which means sufficiently great or important to be worthy of attention, noteworthy. For example, the discovery of antibiotics was a significant advancement in medicine. Winning the award was a significant achievement in her career. 30. Source, which means a place, person, or thing from which something originates or can be obtained. For example, the internet is a valuable source of information for researchers. The journalist confirmed the story with multiple sources before publishing it. We did it. Congratulations. These are the 30 words you'll definitely need to tackle the IELTS listening and reading sections. As you've noticed, many of them can also be used in your writing and speaking responses. Let me know in the comments if you found this lesson helpful and if you would like to see more vocabulary videos. Please write below how many words you knew. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips and tricks on how to ace the IELTS test. Until next time, happy studying, and I'll see you soon in the next video.